Have you ever felt completely exhausted from pursuing a woman you love, only to realize that no matter how hard you try, your efforts seem futile? Meanwhile, other men seem to effortlessly attract their dream partners and live happily ever after. So, what are these men doing differently? Today, we'll explore some key principles of Stoicism to provide you with practical guidance on approaching relationships with wisdom, dignity, and self-respect. We'll cover 9 powerful strategies that can make you a more attractive individual. These tips aren't just for romantic relationships. They aim to enhance your interactions with everyone around you and lead to a more fulfilling life. Whether you're someone who struggles with investing too much emotionally in relationships or just looking to improve how you connect personally, this video is for you. We will debunk common misconceptions, offer useful advice, and help you see the world of relationships through a clearer Stoic lens. So, if you're ready to change how you connect with others and yourself, stay tuned, because these insights could be a game changer for your personal growth and happiness. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel, and please leave a comment below if you resonate with any of the upcoming revelations. Let's go. Number 1, embrace your inner strength. In the journey of personal development, especially from a Stoic perspective, there's a profound difference between being truly virtuous and merely being harmless. Stoicism encourages us not to be passive, but to cultivate inner strength and resilience. Consider the difference in presence between someone who simply exists and someone who carries the potential to shape their environment. This is where the idea of being a controlled force comes into play. Often society promotes a narrative of suppressing assertive qualities, encouraging you to sheath your competitive instincts and avoid being too assertive. They might tell you that being non-threatening is the way to be. However, this advice misses a crucial aspect of personal empowerment. It's not about aggression, but about potential and control. Being a controlled force means recognizing your capacities, even those for disruption or assertiveness, and learning to master them. Imagine a lion, powerful yet serene. It isn't the lion's aggression that demands respect. It's the calm mastery of its own strength. This is how you should model yourself. Walk and talk with the self-assurance that you are complete in yourself. This self-sufficiency is not about needing no one, but about not being needy. It's a subtle yet powerful distinction that makes you more attractive, not just to potential partners, but in all your relationships. Stoicism doesn't teach avoidance of your darker aspects, but their integration and control. Remember, a person who cannot manifest their strength when necessary will likely falter when faced with real-world challenges. Cultivating this balance, where you are capable but controlled, powerful but peaceful, is the essence of true strength. In practice, focus on self-improvement, discipline, and respect for both yourself and others. Develop your competencies, engage in activities that challenge you, and always strive for personal excellence. For example, instead of chasing relationships, invest in yourself, learn a new skill, enhance your knowledge, and build a life that others are naturally drawn to. This path leads not only to personal growth, but also to a genuine and compelling presence that others find admirable and attractive. In essence, be the person who is robust and whole, not because you seek validation, but because you are living true to your principles. This is the essence of attraction through Stoicism. Number 2, don't chase them. In the realm of personal growth, particularly through a Stoic lens, the act of chasing someone, especially in romantic pursuits, often reflects a misunderstanding of your own value and a misalignment with your principles. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-sufficiency and valuing oneself, principles that are compromised when one engages in the relentless pursuit of another's affection. Chasing after someone typically results from a scarcity mindset, a fear that without this person, you might be incomplete. It's a common pitfall, believing that happiness and worth are external to ourselves and must be pursued aggressively in others. However, this approach not only diminishes your self-esteem, but can also make you less appealing in the eyes of those you desire. People tend to value that which is rare and self-sufficient. Desperation, on the other hand, often leads to disinterest. Instead of devoting your energy to pursuing others, focus on your personal development and pursuits. Engage in activities that enrich your life and build your character. Take up new hobbies, deepen your knowledge, improve your physical and mental health, and invest in your career. Such endeavors not only enhance your self-worth, but also make you more interesting and attractive to others. For example, consider the difference between a person who spends their evenings and weekends chasing after social interactions and someone who uses that time to learn a new language, volunteer, or create art. The latter individual develops skills, confidence, and a sense of fulfillment that naturally attracts others. They are not seen as chasing. They are admired and sought after. When you live a life filled with personal achievement and contentment, you create a magnetic aura around yourself. Others are drawn to your self-assurance and independence. This approach aligns with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes that the best way to attract positive relationships is not through desperate pursuit, but through becoming a person worthy of being pursued. In essence, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Live a life that others want to be a part of, not because you need them to fill a void, but because you have so much to offer. Remember, true attraction is about drawing people in with your vibrancy and completeness, not chasing after them in hopes of validation. Number 3, cultivate your own happiness. One trait that truly sets the most respected figures apart, often perceived as alphas, is their ability to generate their own happiness. This isn't just about maintaining a positive attitude. It's a profound understanding that happiness originates from within, not from external validations or relationships. Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in mastering oneself and one's emotions, advises us exactly this. Happiness is a product of our own actions and choices, not the outcomes of our interactions with others. Often, you'll see individuals who base their emotional state on how others, particularly romantic interests, treat them. This dependency transforms them into mere reactors to someone else's presence and actions, giving others undue control over their emotional well-being. For instance, someone who believes that winning over a particular person is the key to their happiness is setting themselves up for disappointment. They place their sense of worth and emotional stability in the hands of another, which is inherently unstable. Instead, Stoicism advises us to focus on creating joy from our daily activities and inner reflections. You can find or create happiness in simple things, whether it's a hobby you're passionate about, a professional achievement, or personal growth through reading, meditation, and physical fitness. For example, consider someone who cultivates a garden or writes daily. These activities are not dependent on anyone else's approval, but are fulfilling in their own right. By fostering this inner contentment, you naturally become more attractive and interesting to others. People are drawn to those who exude genuine happiness and confidence. Imagine meeting someone whose happiness is self-sourced, who isn't desperate for someone else to fill a void, but instead offers a partnership of mutual joy and growth. This scenario is far more appealing than one where happiness is seen as something to be extracted from others. Thus, instead of making someone else the key to your happiness, focus on activities that make you feel fulfilled and alive. Let your happiness be something others can share in, not something they're responsible for creating. This shift in perspective not only makes you more emotionally resilient, but also more desirable as a companion who adds value rather than one who demands it. Number 4, the art of meaningful compliments. In the world of interpersonal interactions, compliments can be a powerful tool, especially when used wisely and sparingly. Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the importance of authenticity and meaningful engagement, offers valuable insights on how to approach complimenting someone, particularly in the context of romantic or personal relationships. It's common knowledge that many enjoy receiving compliments, but the key to an effective compliment is not just in acknowledging someone's appearance or superficial traits. Women, in particular, often receive numerous comments on their looks, from their hair to their eyes, which can become redundant and feel insincere if overdone. To truly stand out and make a meaningful impression, it's essential to look beyond the surface and compliment aspects of her personality or achievements that show you appreciate her as a whole person. For example, commend her on how she handled a challenging situation, her unique sense of humor, or her insightful comments during a discussion. These types of compliments resonate on a deeper level and demonstrate that you value her for more than just her physical appearance. Moreover, the timing and delivery of compliments are just as important as their content. Instead of pulling her aside to shower her with praise, integrate these genuine compliments naturally into your conversations. This approach is less intrusive and allows the compliment to be seen as a sincere reflection of your thoughts rather than a calculated move to gain favor. By focusing on deeper, more personal attributes, you communicate that you're attentive and interested in who she is as an individual. This not only makes your compliments more impactful, but also aligns with the Stoic principle of meaningful and authentic living. Instead of using compliments as a tool to elicit affection, use them to genuinely connect and build mutual respect and admiration. This method of complimenting not only sets you apart from others who might be vying for her attention, but also fosters a more profound connection. When she reflects on the people in her life, your compliments will make her think of you not just as someone who noticed her, but as someone who understood her, potentially deepening her affection for you. Number 5, show your values. Many men struggle with self-respect and purpose, often trapped in cycles of inaction and regret. In the words of Stoic philosophy, this reflects a failure to choose the discomfort of discipline over the discomfort of regret, leading to a life less lived. Stoicism teaches us the importance of living according to our values and being disciplined enough to face the world even on our worst days. It's a philosophy that champions the strength of character over fleeting desires. When you constantly act out of desperation, you diminish your own value. If you don't hold yourself in high regard, it's unrealistic to expect others to value you highly. Let's consider the dynamics of personal relationships, particularly romantic ones. Why would someone be drawn to you if you are insecure and undisciplined? Even if you find temporary companionship without a foundation of self-respect and purpose, lasting connection is unlikely. However, when you focus on personal growth and achieving your goals, your self-worth increases and naturally attracts others to you. Women are often drawn to men who are confident, self-sufficient, and aligned with their values, not because they seek validation, but because they embody strength and stability. Instead of wasting energy on chasing others, devote yourself to cultivating your strengths and pursuing your ambitions. Identify what you excel at and commit to excelling even further, whether it's a professional skill, a personal project, or a physical endeavor. Excellence in these areas not only builds your character, but also makes you a more compelling and attractive individual. Greatness, as Stoicism reminds us, lies on the other side of hardship, and it requires the right mindset to overcome these challenges. Embrace discipline, live your values, and let your actions speak for themselves. By becoming a man of value who chases dreams instead of fleeting desires, you create a life that others want to be part of. Not because you need them to complete you, but because they respect and admire the person you are. This shift not only enhances your relationships, but fundamentally changes how you experience life and attract genuine connections. Number 6, understand the psychology of attraction. Let's dispel a myth right off the bat. Simply ignoring women or acting indifferent isn't a magic formula to make anyone fall in love with you. If that were the case, every introvert or shy person would be the center of attention, which clearly isn't how things work. What does work, however, is understanding the subtle psychological principles that can enhance attraction without resorting to games or manipulation. Historically, people have used various tactics to attract partners. Some have showcased their physical prowess, while others have relied on wit or charm. From a Stoic perspective, the focus is not on manipulation, but on understanding human nature and using this knowledge wisely and ethically. So, how can you foster genuine interest? One effective approach is to be consistently honest and factual in your interactions. When you communicate with integrity, you gradually build trust and credibility. People are naturally drawn to someone they can rely on to be truthful. This doesn't just apply to romantic interests, but to all relationships. Being seen as dependable and honest makes you more attractive and can lead people to lower their defenses around you naturally. For example, when you share your genuine passions, accomplishments, and even your vulnerabilities in a straightforward manner, you present yourself as authentic and relatable. This authenticity is compelling and attractive. It creates a safe space for others to be themselves, which is the foundation of all strong connections. Moreover, understanding the psychology of attraction involves recognizing the value of patience and timing. Stoicism teaches the importance of living according to nature, which in this context means recognizing that relationships need time to grow and should not be rushed or forced. This patient approach contrasts sharply with the frantic and often counterproductive efforts seen in those who desperately seek affection. Instead of chasing after someone, focus on developing yourself and your own virtues. Pursue your interests and goals with passion and let your actions speak for themselves. People are naturally attracted to those who are dedicated to personal excellence and who live fulfilling, interesting lives. By embracing these principles, you cultivate a magnetic personality that attracts others not because you employ tricks, but because you embody qualities that are inherently attractive: confidence, reliability, and authenticity. These are the marks of someone who understands not just the psychology of attraction, but the art of being human. Number 7. Embrace neutrality. When you find yourself interested in someone, it's natural to see them in a predominantly positive light. This is the essence of infatuation. It tends to amplify the good and obscure the bad, creating an imbalanced perception that can lead to disappointment and complications down the line. From a Stoic perspective, maintaining neutrality and emotional balance is key to forming healthy and sustainable relationships. Stoicism encourages us to see things as they truly are, without the distortion of intense emotions. When you're infatuated, you're at risk of ignoring potential flaws and red flags, which can hinder your ability to genuinely connect with someone on a deeper, more realistic level. The goal in any relationship should not just be to attract a partner, but to cultivate a lasting, compatible bond. For instance, instead of letting your emotions lead every decision when you meet someone new, take a step back and use your rational mind to assess the relationship's viability. Consider how well your values align, how you both manage conflict, and whether your life goals complement each other. This approach isn't about focusing on negatives, but about striving for a balanced view that includes both strengths and potential challenges. Let's say you meet someone who shares many of your interests and seems to embody the qualities you admire. While it's tempting to get swept away by these positive traits, it's wise to also observe how they handle stress, interact in various social situations, or treat others around them. These observations can tell you much more about their character than surface-level interactions. Being neutral doesn't mean being disinterested or emotionally detached. Rather, it involves engaging with potential partners in a thoughtful, considered way. It means not letting your heart lead without input from your head. This balanced approach allows you to make more informed decisions about whether to deepen the relationship, ensuring that your emotional investment is sound in the long run. Adopting a neutral stance can save you from significant emotional turmoil. It helps you build relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine compatibility, rather than idealized perceptions that can lead to eventual heartbreak. Thus, Stoicism advises us to temper our passions with reason and to approach relationships with a mindset that values enduring connection over fleeting emotion. Number 8, cultivate awareness. In today's world, it's all too common to encounter those who peddle simplistic solutions to complex problems, especially regarding personal relationships and self-improvement. These solutions often come packaged as one-size-fits-all advice that promises quick results for those desperate enough to seek a shortcut. However, according to Stoicism, true wisdom comes from understanding the complexity of life and embracing a more thoughtful, individualized approach to challenges. Be wary of those who offer generic advice that seems to apply universally. When such advice is applied without consideration of personal circumstances, it can lead to frustration, loss of control over one's life, and a downward spiral into negativity. The Stoic approach emphasizes the importance of listening to your inner voice and combining it with logical thinking. It's about being true to yourself while navigating the advice and expectations imposed by others. Imagine you're trying to improve your social interactions or perhaps hoping to attract a partner. You might come across tips that suggest acting in a certain way or using specific lines, but blindly following such advice without considering whether it aligns with your personality and values can be misleading and ultimately ineffective. We're all unique, with different strengths, weaknesses, and life experiences. What works for one person might not necessarily work for you. Instead of seeking and following universal solutions, focus on developing a deep understanding of who you are and what truly matters to you. Reflect on your experiences, acknowledge your individuality, and apply advice that resonates with your personal values and situational realities. For example, if a piece of advice about being more assertive doesn't feel right because you value kindness and empathy, then adjust your approach to find a balance that suits your personality while still aiming for effectiveness in interactions. This mindfulness and self-awareness will not only help you avoid the pitfalls of generic advice, but also empower you to make decisions that are more likely to bring genuine happiness and success. Stoicism isn't about following rules. It's about understanding the principles behind them and applying these principles wisely to your own life. As you navigate the myriad of advice about relationships and self-improvement, remember to maintain a critical, discerning mindset. Assess the validity and relevance of what you hear, and always consider how it applies to your individual circumstances. By doing so, you cultivate not only wisdom, but also a resilience that comes from living authentically and in alignment with your true self. This path leads not to temporary successes in chasing fleeting desires, but to lasting fulfillment and meaningful achievements. Number 9, recognize the abundance of opportunities. It may sound a bit tough to hear, but embracing the reality that there are plenty of fish in the sea is crucial, especially when forming relationships. This perspective is vital not just in the context of romance, but as a broader life philosophy. Stoicism teaches us to see the world as it is, without the distortion of our intense personal biases or attachments. The person you may think is irreplaceably special is, in many ways, just another individual among billions. When you focus intensely on one person, believing they hold the key to your happiness or that they are uniquely meant for you, you inadvertently place too much power in their hands, power over your emotions and, by extension, your well-being. This mindset can be quite harmful. It narrows your world and can lead to what's often called an incel mentality, where isolation and resentment build because of unmet expectations and a skewed view of relationships. Consider the idea that falling intensely for someone without recognizing the broader context of your life can disrupt personal growth. If you believe there is only one person out of billions who is right for you, you're likely to overlook great opportunities with others who might also be compatible. You might also compromise your self-respect and worth in the pursuit of an idealized relationship that exists mainly in your head. Stoicism advises against this by promoting a view of life that values self-sufficiency and personal virtue over external validations. Remember, about half of the world's population is female. Statistically and realistically, it's unlikely that there is only one perfect match for you. Accepting this can liberate you from unnecessary despair and fixation. Instead, focus on fostering a sense of worth that is rooted in who you are, not in who you are with. Cultivate relationships that respect mutual independence and encourage personal growth. By expanding your perspective and recognizing the abundance of potential connections, you reduce the pressure on yourself and on those you meet to be perfect or irreplaceable. This approach not only makes you more emotionally resilient, but also more attractive as a partner. A person who understands their value and sees the world with clarity and potential is inherently more appealing. They are not desperately searching for someone to complete them, but are instead open to genuine connections that enhance their already full life. In essence, adopting a Stoic mindset towards relationships means understanding and embracing the abundance of opportunities in life, which allows you to maintain your dignity and self-respect in all your interactions. This perspective not only enriches your personal life, but also stabilizes your emotional world. As we wrap up our exploration into fostering stronger relationships and advancing our personal growth through Stoic principles, it's important to carry with you a fundamental reminder: continually aim to surpass who you were yesterday. Each day presents a fresh chance to strive towards excellence in every facet of your life. It's essential to grasp the workings of the human mind and apply straightforward, ethical methods to forge deeper connections with those around you. It's vital to remember that thoughtful reflection and wisdom should guide your decisions, rather than letting emotions take the reins. Emotions, while important, can obscure clear thinking and lead to misguided actions. Be cautious of advice that seems too simplistic or that capitalizes on your urgent needs. Real progress is rooted in earnest effort and a deep comprehension of the principles involved, not merely in seeking instantaneous solutions. In conclusion, take to heart the importance of distinguishing between simple harmlessness and the pursuit of true virtue. Cultivating depth and strength in your character does more than just set you apart. It equips you with the resilience and integrity needed to navigate the complexities of life with grace and purpose. If you have found this video insightful and are eager to delve deeper into similar topics, don't miss the recommended video that should now be appearing on your screen. Make sure to click on it for more in-depth exploration. Additionally, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Doing so will provide you access to a wealth of further content designed to enrich your understanding and help you embark on a more thoughtful and impactful journey through life. Thank you sincerely for watching. Please remember, the path to personal excellence is never-ending. Every single day brings with it an opportunity to advance, to learn, and to grow.